If you've not seen this channel before, allow me to introduce myself. My name's Danny. I'm a 47-year-old Englishman and usually I post comedy videos. But for, well, the past year since Labour came to power, it's harder and harder to find anything to laugh at. And the purpose of this video, if I'm honest, is it's completely unscripted. I'm just out walking to try and clear my head, so I'm going to clear it with you. Because the UK, and I think many countries in mainland Europe, have reached a tipping point. The UK is on a knife edge. It's like a tinderbox. It'll take one spark for the whole thing to go up. I know that the tinderbox are there to light the fire. Please get the analogy. In the UK, we have three main problems. First up, we have an inept left-wing Labour government who are incapable of governing, who openly, in my opinion, hate the British people. They are trying to punish us for Brexit because Keir Starmer and all his cronies are so pro-EU. And now it's blatant that he's trying to drag us back in without consulting the electorate. Next up, we have the rise of radical Islam. Muslims in the UK and across mainland Europe are becoming more and more militant. There are over 3,000 mosques in the UK. But now some Muslims choose to pray in the street. Make no mistake, this is a show of force. And they know they can do it because the government and the police are terrified of being labelled as racist or as Islamophobic. And then the third problem is the big one. Mass uncontrolled immigration, both legal and illegal. And like I said, the UK is on edge. Over the last few days, things have kicked off at a place called Epping in England at the Bell Hotel. The Bell is a migrant hotel and the locals aren't happy about them. Let's be blunt here. I think I speak on behalf of most British people when we say we do not want migrant hotels in our communities. We do not want these people in our communities. They have come here illegally, they contribute nothing, they don't integrate, and they cause far more problems than they solve. But at the Bell Hotel, and I have to be vague with this because it's an ongoing case, a man arrived on a small boat from Ethiopia. Obviously he came from France, he didn't make it all the way from Ethiopia. He was in the country 8 days, and in those 8 days, over a course of 2 days, he allegedly carried out 3 separate sexual assaults, allegedly against minors. And this is happening all the time in the UK, because we're importing these men, or rather they're coming here illegally, from totally alien cultures. Remember, for followers of the religion of peace, it's okay for their prophet in his 50s to sleep with a 9-year-old girl. In the West, that's completely unacceptable. Their way of life is so bloody alien, yet we see Muslim men, let's say it, Muslim men hanging around playgrounds and parks, trying to meet up with young girls online. In the UK now, paedophile hunting vigilantes are doing a better job than the fucking police. Just last week, things kicked off in Spain between Spanish locals and Moroccan illegal immigrants, and not because of the usual crime wave that they bring with them. What sparked it off was an elderly Spanish man went out for his morning walk. He was approached by young, fighting-age Moroccan men who beat the shit out of him. They didn't steal his wallet or his phone. It was violence just for the sake of violence. These are the people we're being asked to put up with. But back in the UK, I believe one of the biggest causes of violence, of rioting, is actually the counter-protesters, the refugees welcome type people. I'll play a short clip here. Have a look at the signs the people are holding.
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back!
Did you spot it? The signs are all exactly the same. They are being manufactured at an industrial level. These aren't pieces of cardboard with handwritten messages. This is being done in a very organised fashion, and at the recent disturbances down in Epping, the counter-protesters were being bussed in. These weren't locals who didn't want the nasty right-wingers in their community. No, they were being organised to turn up and counter-protest, and, in my opinion, to stir up violence. Now, that's just an opinion. I don't have any evidence. But it's the only weapon that the far left has. What they like to do, again, in my opinion, is turn up at places where there's a protest going on and go, look at these racists. Look at them. because they don't have the card to play for those protesting against migrant hotels, that these people are a danger to women and children, that they contribute nothing to society, that they're changing our very society and our way of life is under threat. No, the counter-protesters, all they've got is, oh, the people in the hotel aren't white, so they must all be racists. And at the disturbance in Epping, the worst of the worst turned up. Antifa. The biggest hypocrites on the face of the fucking earth. Yeah, you know, like, I'm Antifa. We're like anti-fascist, you know, man. We're anti-fascist. We're against racists. What we do is we dress up in black and we go around and beat the shit out of anyone that doesn't agree with us because we're anti-fascist. Also, all the problems of the world are the fault of Israel. We're anti-fascists. We hate the Jews. However, I think we've reached the point where the British have had enough. We know that our government openly hates us and recently discovered they've been flying in thousands of Afghans behind our backs. We know we have an invasive religion that openly states it wants to conquer the entire world, and we have thousands upon thousands of military-age young men costing us money and destroying our entire country. So coming up is a clip which I've pixelated because if I don't, this video will get banned. This took place at Islington Tube Station. The story behind it, as far as I can ascertain, is a migrant man was at the tube station, saw a white British guy holding a baby, and unprovoked walked up to said white British guy and punched him in the face. Other British people reacted thus. Well, that was lively. Sadly, I think there's going to be a lot of that in the UK and all over mainland Europe this summer. I'm wearing a coat because it was raining when I left the house, but it's getting hot, and that's when riots happen. And I think it'll just take a few instances for this country and countries across Europe to say enough is enough and begin the fight back. And obviously, I am not condoning violence, but there's a hell of a lot of people in this country who will. Well, that was a fun, light-hearted video. If you enjoyed it, probably best to get help. However, if you could like, comment or share the video, that helps with the algorithm. If you would like to support me in making these videos, there are links in the description to buy me a coffee and to my Patreon. And as ever, thanks for watching. Before I go, or rather before we go to the bloopers, one more clip. This is taken from the opening day of the Holocaust Museum in the Netherlands. It was never about Palestine. Down in fucking, that was good. The issue is, or rather the three issues are, we have an inept left-wing Labour government who openly hate the British, run by a former human rights lawyer, backed up with, 47-year-old Englishman, and usually I post comedy videos or something approaching comedy. One of the awkward things about making these videos is I use TikTok for most of my clips. And that means that now, when I'm scrolling through, all I'm seeing is migrant hotels and protests. I'm no longer seeing pretty young ladies dancing to Limp Bizkit. You know what I mean. I'm recording this on a Saturday. What do you do at the weekends? I go out for a shout.